I'm going to talk about geodes today, and I put online 4 geodes that are going to be cut. One of them is going to be cut, and so I had everyone vote on it, and I'm sure everyone's eager to see who the winner is. So let's look at them again. Here's a nice little kind of small one. Here's B. Here's C. Sorry, it's not focusing on it. And here's D. So the winner is C. We're going to be actually cutting this. I'm going to choose an axis to cut, and I'll probably go down the middle of it like this. Typically when they break in geodes, or break geodes, they put a chain over it and then crack it open, and then they kind of pry it open. However, I went to a rock show, and I actually saw them cut one of the geodes in half. And you can see right here what it looks like. Of course, this is not polished, but it does have some good crystals. I will take some pictures of it and post. I wanted to show what it would look like after I polished. So right now that's what it looks like. And now I get it kind of wet, because that's kind of what it's going to look like. And you can see it changes significantly. Today's a rather hot day, so you'll probably see me sweating. It was 103 today, and it's been kind of miserable lately. But I hope to have a nice, good geode like this. I'm not sure where these geodes are from, but I'm interested. If anyone knows, please tell me. I have some suspicions, and it would be nice to confirm it with anyone. But I want to talk about what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to use a rock saw. It's a trim saw, lapidary trim saw, and then I'm going to use polishing wheels. And I'm going to polish the surface down, and then I'll buff it with a leather. I will make a video on what's going on here as well as here with the saw, but I'm just going to pick a blade, and it's a continuous diamond blade. Why am I choosing that? It's nice and slow and gives me a nice clean finish. And I'll make another video on just the saw blades themselves. Then I'll also later will make a video with the lapidary cabezon machine, and I will also talk about the different grits with it. And I'm going to do some modifications later in videos to talk about what I'm going to be doing with this, and hopefully you'll all subscribe and you can see my modifications. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. We're glad to help you. But let's go over some safety. So with minerals in general, if you don't know what they are, you should probably wear a respirator. Some materials are carcinogenic, and you don't want to be breathing in them, especially if you're doing a lot of them. For this video, I'm not going to do it so you can hear me, not have it muffled, as you know, everyone knows based on everything that's going on today. But also, I want to talk about heavy ear protection. You never know how loud it's going to be, so it's better to have your ears safe. It doesn't matter, you can have the pinch ones. I'll be using these versus ear muffs. Safety glasses. Always have this despite of wherever you are, because you never know if a chip will break and hit you. So you should always wear your safety glasses. This is the respirator I wear. I like the breathing ports because it exhales, as well as I use an N99 filter with it. I also have an apron because this is oily. I use mineral oil and it gets everywhere. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to take this protective case off and put off the side, but normally I would keep it on, but I want you to see how I'm cutting it. I'm cutting the geode. And even with this, each stage, I'm wearing all my protection as much as possible. I don't have the earbuds in because it's usually not too loud, but eye protection for sure. Alright, I have everything kind of set up. I have my vise right here. And I forgot to mention gloves. You should wear gloves. And I have the vise to kind of help me guide it. The rock doesn't fit in very well, so I'm using it as a guidance. It's also, the rock is too high, so I will have to break it up here if it doesn't naturally break. And so I will push it through. This is to splash the oil back down, and you'll see that will get pretty messy pretty soon. Wish me luck, and let's see what's inside this thing. All right, it looks pretty nice. You see the little copper stuff? That's not part of it. Let's see if I can focus. Well, you can see it a little bit. I'll try to refocus it a little better in just a little bit, but it looks pretty dang nice. Kind of interesting what to see. Nice little layers around the side. It broke off a little bit right here, as we suspected, but is a nice little piece of specimen. All right. Okay, the next phase is I'm going to clean the geodes because I want that mineral oil off, and because I don't want to gunk up any of my belts at all. But you can see how they look. It's a pretty nice clean cut, and that's what I wanted to see and what I wanted to achieve. So let's start cleaning it. So what I have is just like Dawn soapy water. I'm going to start off with just the rag here. I'm wiping it off because I really don't want to go inside here just in case there's something fragile. I don't think there is going to be anything fragile, but you can see how delicate it is, if it is delicate, based on how you're wiping the outside. This seems pretty robust, so I'm not too worried. And sorry, I keep on getting out of frame. Here we go. That's a little better. Again, I'm just wiping it off, getting the soapy water, because that will break down. And I feel pretty confident I won't mess up anything, so I will kind of clean it out. But look at those lines in here. That's pretty amazing. It's really a pretty nice piece. So good job everyone for picking C. And so I'll continue to just wipe this off, kind of clean it off, make sure I don't really have any oil, and then I'm going to do another rinse of this. So let's go to the other one. Gotta get rid of this, all this copper looking. That was a new blade I used, so again, I do the wiping, just kind of see if it's gonna break anywhere. And this is really interesting, just to see where it breaks, all that. Geodes are just fun. I'll just say that. They're fun to see what's inside, just like the one I got from the rock show. There's like a bunch of quartz and stuff inside it. There's quartz in this. There was a quartz crystal right here, which I saw right through. And you can kind of see a little bit of that, I believe, is, yeah, right here. The tip may have broken off on this side, or it grew. I don't know how it grew, but that's where it came off. But then there's all this quartz throughout here. Alright, let's continue to clean this. I feel like it's pretty strong, so I won't break anything. I like just doing one half, because I like seeing the natural, what it looked like before, followed by the other side, just they're nicely polished. I'll probably polish the other side, just because it's a little bit bigger, and we'll see what it turns out to look like. And if anyone knows what any of these minerals are that are in here, please tell me. I would love to know exactly what's going on and all that. And if you have any other videos that would talk about any of this, feel free to post it below or give me suggestions. I'm always willing to learn and grow from this. All right. All right, there's that. Now I'm going to get my CAD machine all set up. See you at the next phase. All right, I told you that I wanted to do this one side. And so what I'm going to do is use the diamond coated blades infused still. And I'm going to kind of trim off this edge that broke off. And then I might polish just a little bit, just kind of make sure everything's even on the outside here. And then I'll the most coarse, and I'll work it down. Then how I do it is the same grit here and here. And these are different belts, and I'll get to that when we get to the other side. I use a bubbler. I'm going to be changing that in the future, so it's continuous flow. And so what it is it uses a fish tank air supply and then bubbles it. Alright, so what you do is you push this underneath. You want to make sure it gets wet. You can see it's getting wet, but you can see it's not getting as wet as I want, and that's why I want it. So what I typically do is just kind of splash with water. And then I bring in whatever specimen it is, and I just kind of gently push it around and see how it sculpts. And kind of just let it naturally fall in. And I'll go over more details when I make the other video about doing this. So you know this is not typical what you use this tool for, but this is how I like to use it. I like feeling it. I like seeing how the surface changes. Typically people make jewelry with this tool. I don't really do jewelry, but it's just a fun thing I do. And I encourage anyone to do what they feel is right. And so what I'm doing is getting off that high spot that I told you about. So you have to be very careful not to go, like you can divot all the way through, and you want to make the track continuous all the way around. You saw how white it was turning? When we get to the end, it's not going to be white. Let's get some more water on here. Of course, this is what happens. It all comes off, and that's perfectly fine as long as you're paying attention. See, I kind of narrowed it down. You can still see it a little bit right here, and right to the uplift edge right there. I want to make sure I get that, because by the time I get it here, if I haven't got it, it's going to get worse further down, and I probably will stay there. So you have to get rid of that. It's still there. I can still see the edge. Still see the edge a little bit right here, and I want to get rid of that. See, it keeps on breaking loose right there. It's one of the annoyances. Let's see, it's looking pretty dang good. I feel like there's probably something more right in this little area right here. Make sure you can feel it, you can see it, feel the difference. So now we're going to go to here, so we're going up the grid, so it goes finer. And I'm still shaping it, I'm still getting rid of all the big burrs and everything. the difference? And I will be modifying this so I can actually do a big piece later. And I need to make sure this stays. So what happens when the water's not there? I actually can damage the water's being like lubricated. Usually the most time you'll spend is on this one, the most coarse. Because you're really shaping it to what you want. And you're just, it's like wood. You take off the big bolt, and you get finer and finer, and you get to more details. Alright, I would say that's probably pretty good. Let's go to the last one of the diamond if you still want it. Like I said, I'll make another video on this, and I'll show you my upgrade. How it's supposed to. And once in a while you dry it off. I do it typically at the end here before I go to the next phase. And when you dry it off, it kind of looks like it's more moist. So what you're doing is you're smoothing out all the surface, all the little cracks and everything. See right there, that's pretty neat. And I'm not filling anything that feels out of place. I'm feeling for like texture differences. So if I didn't get something, it definitely feels. And then also what you can do is look at the light, and you can see it's missing. So like right there, there's a little chip or something in the side right there. So I can probably polish that out a little bit more. Still there. Some of these are just bubbles. Like that's bubble. That's in there. So there's multiple layers. That's bubble there. That's bubble. But I can tell that there's still a little bit something right there. So let's continue to work it. Some people wear gloves during this phase. I feel like you lose a lot of the feel of what's going on. But there's nothing wrong with that. Or you tape your fingers so you don't cut them. I've never cut myself on this, and hopefully I won't. And if I do, you'll see it in the video. So I'm looking to see if I can see anything that is a little bit more. See how it's not turning so white when I'm polishing it? And it looks pretty good. I see any major, right there I see it. Yeah, right there I can see it. Yep, I still feel it. Yes, mainly on this side now, not so much on that. So let's work it. still feels like it. I think this time it's mineral. So it feels a lot better now. But I can tell that there's a lot of divots and stuff all in this corner right here. I mean, the quartz, this layer here. But overall, it feels very, very good. There's a little bit right there. Alright, so I'm going to stop the video and then I'm going to switch everything so you can see it from this side. Alright, now we're on our final polish. Whatever we didn't do on this other side, it's kind of too late. So this is where we're getting all the nice little polishing. I've tried fixing my little bowler. And you can hear just the sound is completely different. And so you're really polishing at this point. These are diamond belts, diamond coated belts. So what you're not seeing, what I'm seeing is, I'm looking down at it, and I'm seeing how is it changing. And so when I'm seeing wheel, I'm seeing it hit at different points. And you're just seeing one aspect of it. And so I'm really trying to get evenly. I'm listening. You can see every once in a while it pushes over. And I have to push the belt back every once in a while. It happens more on the last one. This is looking really good. So there it is dry. You can see it looks wet. It probably is just a little bit, but it's coming a long way, very nicely. Alright, let's go to the next one. I need to turn it off because this belt over here likes to slide back and forth. It's not tight enough on there. I'll be replacing it hopefully soon. But you can definitely hear the sound. It's not as rough. You can hear me hitting it. And I'm trying to keep it flat the whole time and on that tangent. This is where I'm always amazed on what is happening. How quickly. That's pretty nice. So what I have to do is, since that won't come over and slide back and forth. Oh, I didn't do it. So that was my leather wheel that came off. I will reattach it because that's the final polish. So what you do is you put aluminum oxide on the wheel here, and it comes out really nice. So I'll fix that up after this, so you all can see, because it's definitely worth it. Alright, so I'll do the last little bit. Since I'm not pushing evenly, that's why it slides back and forth. And that makes sense because I'm pushing differently all around the surface here. So I'm not able to. Where if I had a smaller piece, it won't do it as much. So if I do it in the middle here, it's not really doing it. And of course, I've got to bring over the water, which doesn't help either. Just the water I've been putting on. Here where it's rough, like here, a little rougher, not there, rougher. And so that's why I'm trying to really turn my ears on and try to hear that distinction. Okay, so for the last phase, I like using aluminum oxide, but I want to get some cerium and see how that is. And so what you do is you paint it on here, like that, and it's okay to put on thick. Typically the thicker, the better, because what you're doing is you're pushing this against the leather, and so you want some type of barrier, and then you also paint it on to here. I had duct tape it. I have ordered some glue, because right now it was some type of tape, 3M tape, and I can talk about that once I make the video. And I'll talk about different leathers and felts and all sorts of things, and why would you choose one over the other. But this is just... Alright, my memory card filled up, sorry about that. So what I did was I put aluminum on the surface here with this brush, solder brush, paint it all over, and I put it on here. And what you're doing is you're doing this as well as you're trying to keep it moist the whole time. And sometimes you have to spray, put some more aluminum on it. But you're doing this, and you're trying to, what you're doing is you're doing the final buffing. And you can kind of tell where you've missed, because it grabs a certain way. Right now I don't feel like I've missed too much. But when you pull it off, it comes out really nice and smooth. So what I wanted to do is I'll do the alumina a couple more times, and if I die, I'll take pictures of the final relative to the other. See, that's all I'm doing is I'm painting it on, getting that final polish down. I'll take a picture of this relative to the other one, and you just keep it going. But I'm pretty sure it's pretty much done right now. Thank you for watching.